Bruh. Bruh. Oh my God, CJ.
What is up, Flippity?
Bruh.
Hey,
What's up?
where art thou, fellas?
Art thou in South Dakota taking my kids to school? That's where art thou.
Yeah. Hey, my Native American is North Dakota. I'm part Sioux.
Oh, Sue, dude. Yeah, yeah, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
I'm still a little bummed that they took away, the university's true name. The North Dakota Fighting Sioux, bro. I
Yeah.
thought, man, I thought that was a big bummer that they took that name away, man, because there was a lot of pride in that name.
Ah, I see.
I still have, dude.
Hey.
I still have some vintage like Fighting Sioux sweatshirts, hockey sweatshirts, bro. People go crazy for
How
those.
you do? That's crazy.
The Flippinator.
Hey,
Good
Trot, we
morning.
never get a notification.
I
Yeah, I
did.
don't get a notification, bro. I didn't get one, and I have all Jehovah's Witnesses on night. For some reason, I never get the notification, bro.
Hmm.
Yeah, same here.
I think he has his low
Well,
key block, bro. I think he has his block. Flip me and you.
Yeah.
yeah.
He hated, man. What's up with that?
Hey, misunderstood. Do you believe I was watching this thing about that brick lady? I saw this thing. It said it was that she was like she had a bunch of like previous scams and that it was a hoax and
Right.
that
But
the
yeah,
cameras
but
weren't there. Nobody saw nothing. Like the police report, they couldn't figure anything out. I was like, that's a little fishy, don't you think?
it's it is, but it isn't because when the news outlet picks it up, and then the New York Times, and you see the whole premise behind it, the articles are talking about how there is a division between the men and the women, and that is the whole reason why there is so many lives about that particular situation. Even if she was lying, those previous GoFundMe's were never set up by her. It was by other individuals, and they're trying to pin it on her. I mean,
Well,
just think about it.
let me say this. This is a deep conversation I had with a lot of my friends, right?
Uh,
And I would say 98% of my friends are brothers, right? And
right,
when we talked about it, it was like, well, a lot of my friends like, man, I remember one time, bro, this woman was getting her the brakes beat off of her, and I jumped in there, and I was like, hey, man, he stood between him and the girl, and Buddy swung on him, boom, and he said he swung back, bam, knocked him out, and then he went in the gym, kept working out, man. He said, man, he didn't even feel right, like that whole situation was so crazy. He's like, I'm just gonna leave, bro. He didn't even work out. When he was leaving, the police was waiting for him right there, and the girl was like, yeah, that's the one that hit my boyfriend. He said, you know what? Never again. Unless you are a close friend, one of my homeboys, is like daughter, wife, auntie, somebody that I know, I'm not messing with that, bro, because these people will turn around and basically betray you, and then you'll end up in jail like a fool. And he wasn't even
right.
trying to
But
swing on
see,
you, he was just trying to break it up. So he was like, if
but
you had the nerve to pick up a brick and hit you, what do you
Dre,
think you're gonna
Dre, you
learn?
sound muffled, brother. You sound muffled.
Yeah, we could hear most of that, but it was you have a headset on or something? Bluetooth or your car hooked up maybe?
I don't know what y'all heard and didn't hear. Do I still sound muffled?
Yeah,
yes, you
it's
sound
like
far away.
you're far yeah, it's like you're far away.
I freaking had these headphones on in the sauna, so it's probably water in them.
Yeah. Okay.
Come out
Okay,
from under that
but
rock, bro.
but Dre, the reason why, I mean, everything your friends are saying, a lot of men feel that way, but it's just having protection with conditions. So if they feel that way, and every man feels that way, that means when your wife, your daughter, your mother, they're out and they're not under your protection and they get assaulted, then don't expect someone to protect your loved ones because you're not there. That's the argument. That's the consensus. You understand what I'm saying? Because you can't have it one way and then something happens to your family, to your wife. Like right now, your wife is out of town. So if someone has that same thought press, not saying you do, but you just think about it, how you're only going to protect your own. But then you
Okay,
find
let me
out
say
from your
this.
wife, yes,
Let
yes,
me
sir,
say this. Can y'all hear me better now?
a
Can y'all hear
little
me
bit.
better now?
Yeah, it's a little
All right.
better. Yeah.
All right. So let me say this. I think as men, we got to have discernment as to what situation you're going to jump into and what situation you're not going to jump into, if that makes sense. So if you see
Yes, it
somebody,
does.
like if it's domestic violence, a lot of times your best bet is just call the police and walk away from that. Now, if it's a
Correct.
assault, if you see somebody like a young lady, a 17-year-old girl that's not with this dude, a grown man trying to, hey, come here, girl, come here, and grabbing her, and you see she's uncomfortable, you should jump in and be like, hey, dog, like she good, she don't want nothing to do with you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Be like, go ahead, young lady, go about your way. I would do something like that. But if it's like a domestic violence, that's why you're saying you have to have discernment. Like, I'm not jumping in no boyfriend and girlfriend fight because she'll turn around and betray you because that's who she's sleeping with.
Exactly. So, and women are not saying that it always has to be physical. It's just another man saying something to cause a distraction. And now, and these men are not willing to do that, Dre. That's the issue. They're willing to be a bystander and watch and then say that she deserved it.
Now, my question to you would be, why has society gotten to that point? That's the root of the issue.
Well, it's always been that way. And that's why I sent you that particular live. I mean, I know it's that particular creator is part of the other community, but he has very different types of lives. And it was there's always been this division. You un, you know with having your wife and your daughter, if you look at the statistics, more of us are going to college where our wages are higher than our men, and there some of them are feeling that we we lead with our money instead of trying to be a wife, and they wanting us to be submissive. They're wanting all of these things instead of having a healthy relationship or a marriage or a commitment. It's a team. We're supposed to be your help meet. And this is where this division comes from. They focus so much on the hair, the lashes, the weave. They're not focusing on anything else. And sometimes men have an ego problem with their woman making more money.
Hold on,
Not every
misunderstood.
man can handle that.
You went to a totally different subject though. I'm talking
But no,
about
no,
the
no,
protection of
no,
men to women, like in general
right.
in the
But that
streets.
is
Like you
it.
don't know this
No,
lady.
right.
You
But
think so?
Dre, that's the yes, that's the argument. It's an underlying argument. That's the surface because then they use, oh, she's combative. She's in her masculinity. She's doing this. She says that she doesn't need a man. Well, let her money protect her. Her degrees protect her. Because how
Yeah,
you can't tell her anything
I don't think that's it though. To be honest with you, like I said, I got a lot of friends uh, that
on this app.
would
On this app, it
that
is.
would jump
On
in.
this app, it is.
Oh well, yeah. This app
Dre,
has a
you
bunch
sound
of
like you're
like
far away,
millennial
brother.
children though.
You sound Dre, you sound like you're floating
I know.
away.
I can't really help nothing right there. I can't really help that
Jesse.
right now. I'm trying to.
Oh, okay, okay. That's cool.
But no, I
Yeah, no, I'm
mean,
trying. I know I sound far away. I'm trying to fix it, but I really can't. My apologies.
but Dre, I understand your point because I've never heard that type of argument until I came on this app. I've never heard that. And the men that I associate myself with or I'm around will would and will do exactly what you stated. They will create a diversion. They will get in the middle of it. They will, stop. It's all about just creating a diversion. And some men think that we want you to fight. That's not it. That's why a lot of women who are SA'd or whatever never tell their father, never tell their brother, because they don't want you. It's the men they love to go to prison. Because once you find out, that's it. There's no stopping you. We know this. And then some of these men on this app hold it against women.
Well, let's not
And
call
that,
them men. Let's call them
well,
males because those aren't men.
males, okay.
Biological males.
Yeah.
But then also some of these males are scared of other men. And that's another reason why they will not step in.
Well, yeah, I think I would say 90% of people in the world have never even been in a fist fight. They talk real tough, but they never even been punched in the face. So
Oh,
you can say
absolutely.
you tough, but I know you ain't never got hit in the face.
Yes, and then it circles back around to, oh, if she um if she wasn't wearing all of that makeup, if she wasn't having her hair done this, then it wouldn't be an issue. She should be under a man's tutelage and things of that nature. And they always blame
Man, what are y'all
us.
talking about?
You got all these Kevin Samuel dudes. That's what it is. A whole bunch of Kevin Samuel dudes.
Oh, yes.
What y'all talking
Good
about,
morning,
man?
Trot.
What's going on? What y'all talking about?
Oh, you know.
Well,
Man,
it
you better
was
come in here with your intro, bro. What's wrong with you?
Man,
okay.
I better get an answer to my question first. How about that? Catch me outside. How about that?
Okay, it was in regards to the brick lady, and then
Oh my
because
God, we still
yesterday,
talking about Brick Lady.
no, we're
Oh
not.
my.
No, oh my God, hold. See,
Oh my
trot,
Lord, have
trot.
mercy! I'm gonna tell you what.
Don't
I'm
go to
gonna.
the
We're gonna
left.
keep talking about. We're gonna keep talking to this about the Stone Lady, Rock Lady, Brick
No,
Lady,
we're
Jericho
not.
Lady. Oh my
Trot,
Lord! What? I could have sworn you
Lord,
said Brick Lady.
no.
Hold on, hold on,
Don't
hold
forget
on.
the
Time out.
broom
Hold on.
and the chancleta and all that
If
other
you
stuff.
didn't say Brick Lady, I apologize. Did you not say Brick
No, I
Lady?
did. No,
Okay.
no, I
Oh
did.
my.
Dre and I were having.
Hold on. Let me ask again.
Why
Hold
are
on.
you
Let me
being
ask
so
again.
petty?
This guy.
Why are you being petty?
Oh man.
All right. Let's start that all over. What are y'all talking about?
It was about
Hey,
that,
hey, everybody
but
say Brick Lady one time.
Oh my God. What is
okay,
going
Yo,
on?
but
I got a question.
We
What's
were
a brick
talking
lady?
about wisdom,
are we
bro.
going to talk about the
We were
it's the
What's a
Jezebel
brick
spirit?
lady?
Because yes, oh, Bill, please don't.
Huh?
I'll
we
send
were
you
talking about wisdom, bro.
wisdom and
Wisdom and how to
discernment.
deal with situations when
Oh
you get in
man.
the streets, bro.
Talk about wisdom, huh? Oh man.
Not every situation you're supposed to just jump in there like Captain America.
Oh man. Well, uh, all right.
Well, you're fully descaled. If you saw a woman getting the brakes beat off her in the street, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna create a diversion and say, "Hey, man, you might not want to do that, bro. Like, what's up?" Like, or are you gonna get on your hands and knees and prostrate and pray to the Lord to make an intervention, or Are you gonna call the police? Like, what would you do? Like that would be the
I'm gonna
question.
say, Lord, with your sovereignty, please stop this madness.
Strike him down with lightning.
And he's gonna say, why Christ out to me?
Grab thy rod.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, I see a woman getting a,
Unto me, I gave you Jesus.
yeah,
No, he's
yeah,
gonna be like, take that brick over there.
yeah.
Oh wow.
I'm gonna say,
Wow,
I'm gonna
Ryan,
say,
really?
hey. No, I'm gonna say,
to the dude though. Come on, to the dude. Let's get real.
No, I'm gonna say, hey, brick lady. She's gonna be like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. She's gonna take off running so she don't get hit. No, I mean, I don't know. It's common sense to me, man. Like, dude whooping up on a lady. While I'm walking over there, though, I'm gonna be looking for some rocks or something, because I'm not. First of all, if let me tell you another thing. You see domestic violence going on, and it may not be. They may be strangers, but you better believe that it's possible that they could be boyfriend and girlfriend. And you go over there, think you're gonna break it up, and she just as crazy as him. You're gonna get beat up when you go over there. You got to be careful. I've seen it. Matter of fact, I haven't just seen it. Hey, I haven't just seen it a few times. I've seen it 100, more than 100s of times in front of my face. I've done it. I've been there. I've done it. I've made the mistake where I'm like, this has got to be different. And then before you know it, they both want to beat you up. And you're like, oh, my Lord. So, if it's domestic violence, man, you better just dial 911 before somebody's dialing 911 to save you. You got to be careful. That whole, I'm a man and I'm going to stop this madness. They going to stop you. You better back up. You're going to be the brick man. They may have a story about your butt. Man, I can't believe this, man. I was just trying to help. Look at my face. I got 4 bricks thrown in my head. Yeah. Try it again. Some people don't care, bro. They'll fight anywhere. They don't care. You think you're going to go up there and tell somebody to stop. Matter of fact, better dial 911. Somebody's got to dial 911.
Exactly. It's all about just causing a diversion. It's not always about someone literally, physically having an altercation. Just causing a diversion, just to cause it, just to let them know, just is everything okay? And then if they want to, understand and pull away, then that's great. If it becomes escalated, then yes, call the police. Absolutely.
Yeah, and if the scenario is she's screaming like phrases, right? Phrases or sentences that would cause anyone to believe that this is not a domestic issue, like this dude's a stranger, and she keeps verbalizing certain phrases that is literally, she could be lying too. I've seen them lie, They'll say these phrases, and you go over there and try to, break it up or whatever, and then the whole truth comes out, and she just lied. She's just trying to get somebody to go over there and whoop his butt. You got to be careful, man. Something else, and then you're in a lawsuit because, you've done something maybe to the dude or something. Now he's suing you, and they're both in court against you. Man, I done seen it all. Y'all better sit down.
Absolutely. There are a lot of men who go to prison behind that. You're absolutely right, Trent. Absolutely.
Yeah. So you see people fighting, man. Hey, just dial 911 now. If you believe that you got a set of skills that might help apprehend or thwart the issue, then fine, go over there. But if you get stabbed in the face, don't be mad at nobody. Somebody, they're not always holding what they have in their pocket. They don't always have a gun or knife in their hand. It could be on them. and you go over there
Yeah,
and dust the
that's
guy
not a
up.
body kit on you. That's a
Yeah, you
difference.
go. Yeah, you go over there and you dust the guy up, and you're like, you don't do that to women, eh. And you go pick her up and you get shot in the back of the head. So, you know, you,
Yeah, you might
you
get your
know,
butt whooped. You might get your butt whooped if you don't know how to fight.
yeah. So, I understand the gesture. I get it. You know, it's kind of like, hey guys, pause. Hey man, you got a weapon, and you can scan them real quick. Okay, you don't got no weapon. And then you go punch him. Well, we don't. Nobody got time for that. Nobody ain't got no time for that. You got no time to
Hey,
stop
I'll
it.
make it quick though. What if you can make it quick?
Make what quick?
What if you could take that dude out real quick? Hey, I would do it.
What kind of takeout we talking about here, bro?
He's talking about using a body kit, bro. Ain't no way. I'm not doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Oh no, I'm not doing that, and I wouldn't expect. I mean, let me step back. That's a men conversation. I wouldn't expect my husband, my boyfriend, to do that. But would I want him to interject to call the diversion? Absolutely. While I call the police? Absolutely. Because you don't know how far it could escalate.
yeah, the whole taking them out deal. Like, uh, there's people now, man. I don't know if there's so many stories. You know, it's not 1950 where things are black and white anymore. And I'm not talking about skin color. So everybody, put your red pen down. Calm down. I'm talking about like simple things are not simple anymore. Any little thing could take your butt to court. It don't matter what it is. So you go.
It's not
This
Al
guy was,
Capone time. We're not living
yeah,
1930
yeah.
Al
This
Capone.
guy, yeah, this guy was, he was like, physically assaulting this woman. She could have died. So you killed him? Well, yeah. The judge ain't gonna be like, you know what? You're such an honorable man. He deserves to die anyway for doing that to him. They're gonna be like, oh, and you just thought you're just gonna take the law upon yourself and start killing folks. Oh yeah, you're not gonna get patted on the back anymore. That's another thing. You better be careful. You're gonna be sitting in prison for the rest of your life, and you're like, I was just trying to save this woman. There's too much to think about now. So that's what I'm saying, man. On the way over there, you better pick up rocks on the way over there. Just chunk them. I mean, you can get sued for hitting someone with a rock, but you know, I'm saying if you feel like you need to be a hero, start slow. Don't just run over to grab a dude and get stabbed in the face. Start slow, or just dial 911. Everybody's got a choice, or just keep on walking. And then people can say, "Oh, that dude was a coward." He kept on walking, and then a second guy come around and get stabbed in the face. So you're gonna call that first dude a coward? I mean, maybe he don't know how to fight. You know, so
And that was my other statement I made to Dre. Some men are just scared of other men who
yeah.
won't even interject. It's just the whole diversion thing. But it was tying into the whole Jezebel spirit. How we were going to talk about that yesterday, but we had the other young man in the live, so it kind of our topic because you wanted me to come up and talk about that, but he took up a little bit of my time, so and we had to get back to the original Bible study for you to finish it. So that was fine. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, yeah. Let me get my thingamabobber here.
Ooh,
Hey,
that Jezzy
why
spirit.
are
We talk about that Jezzy spirit today.
Yeah, we'll hop in there. Uh,
Hey, that Jezebel spirit is she promiscuous, bro.
Jezebel spirit.
Actually, the
Oh
Jezebel
man.
spirit is a
I
spirit
never
of
believed in that.
manipulation, isn't it? A lot of people confuse it with the spirit of, like promiscuity. But in reality, the
First of
Jezebel
all,
spirit is a spirit of narcissistic and
It's narcissist,
manipulation.
exactly.
It's what it
Oh
yeah,
is.
but
wow.
It's
But
a
for
spirit
Spirit
of
of
no,
Ahab,
narcissism.
then.
It's not a, people get that spirit wrong. They think
Right.
it's a spirit of someone who's like, running around there.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's a spirit of narcissism. And if you know what narcissism is, it's
Well, what about a
gaslighting.
spirit of Ahab? What about that? You ever heard of
It's a
that?
spirit of it's a spirit of gaslighting, manipulation, you know,
no,
everything a
that's not.
narcissist.
But
If you know
that's
what a
not the problem.
narcissist is,
The problem is everybody. The problem is
Kind
everybody's got the spirit to argue. That's the problem. Just everybody got the spirit to argue because somebody's like,
Yeah, I get a
oh,
spirit
well,
of slap after that.
that person's got the spirit of Jezebel, and you ask them what's that, and they'll give you a definition. And then the next day somebody will use it again. What's that? They give you a different definition. Before you know it, it's Trinity and oneness.
oh
Everybody's
yeah,
saying the same junk, but they're just trying to like explain it differently so they can say that they have the correct way. The spirit of Jezebel is this. First of all, there ain't no such freaking thing in the Bible, not the way that they're explaining it. But that's why we're gonna go over it so we can start
well,
arguing about
Thank
what the
God you
spirit of
said that.
Jezebel, spirit of
Amen.
Thank God.
Jezebel. My Lord
I
have
always thought it
mercy.
was a
We're gonna
spirit of
talk
like
about who.
narcissism.
Well, okay, let's just do it this.
Characteristics. Characteristics.
Let's go.
Bill, mute please.
Let's go. Bill, are you taking a shower?
All right,
What's that
mute
noise?
yourself.
It's frying bacon. That's what it
What are
sounds
you?
like.
Are you
Yeah,
taking a shower?
he's
Sound like
taking
you're
a
taking a
shower, bro.
shower. Taking a
No,
shower.
he's cooking bacon and taking a shower.
Um, all right. So, all right, let's go to the verse that says Jezebel spirit. Where's it at?
It's not biblical, sir. It's
No,
not
no, no.
biblical.
It's got to be in there. No, no.
No,
It's got to be in
no,
there
no,
somewhere.
it's not. It's not.
Oh my Lord, it's got to be, bro. But it's
There,
got to be.
there isn't a name. No, bro. I think bro over here is correct. It talks about Jezebel, but not the Jezebel spirit. There's no
No, no,
such
no,
thing in
no.
the
It's
Bible
got
as
to be
Jezebel
in there because
spirit.
I mean, it's got to be
No,
in there because we're it's got to be because everybody keeps saying it. It's
no,
got to
no, no,
be in
no.
there.
I think no, it's not there. It talks about her, but
Uh,
there's no such thing as Jezebel spirit in the Bible.
well, let's make sure. Okay, we
Jesse,
got to make
I agree
sure.
with Jesse.
Let's see. Let's
The
see.
name yeah, the character is in the Bible, but not that so-called Jezebel spirit. Like people say,
Well,
oh,
then
the
why?
Jezebel
Then why do
spirit.
y'all keep saying it? Why do y'all keep
It's not in the
saying it then?
Bible. Her
Hey,
name,
And why
I
do you
don't
her
keep
say it.
saying
character's in
it?
the Bible, but
Not
not
everybody
that
in here says it.
particular. Okay, bro.
Then why is everybody saying the phrase Jezebel spirit? Then
Because
why?
because they
Who told
like
us?
because they like to
Go on, misunderstood.
because people like to pick and choose verses to fit their narrative and not
Okay,
have the
so if
true
they
connotation.
like to pick and choose verses, where's the verse that says Jezebel spirit? Where's it at?
There isn't one. You're not gonna find it, bro. You're not gonna find it because it's not
There's
there.
just a
Are you
description.
sure?
It's First
Are you
Kings, I
sure?
think.
Well, they talk about Jezebel because she was married to the king and blah blah blah, and she was the one with the prophet Elijah and all the things, and she got angry on him, and he got all depressed, and he ran to the cave, and the angel came to him, and the birds fed him or whatever. Yeah, but there's no such thing as Jezebel spirit. That word does not exist in the scriptures. Her name does, but not Jezebel spirit.
I second that.
Thanks, Bill.
Yeah. No, I'm being facetious. I know I don't say it that way, but I
Isn't it
know,
First
and
Kings
I
18?
could have swore it was in wrote.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, First Kings is like, you know, the main story about Jezebel, but the one that they talk about is in the Book of Revelation, and I just don't remember where it's at. I'm looking for it, but this is the one where it's like, you know, where it says something about, you know, calls herself a prophet, or it says something like that in there.
Uh,
Um,
is it
That's
2:18?
Revelations 18. It's 18. where it
It's
says
no,
come
it's
Two.
two.
out of her. That
It's
It's
same
two
2:18.
verse
verse.
20.
Oh, to wait.
Yeah, chapter 2.
Yeah, who's got it pulled up?
I'm
Nobody
getting
yet.
I'm getting there. Um. Okay, so 2 verse 20 is where she's mentioned. It says, "Notwithstanding, I have a few things against thee, because thou sufferest that woman Jezebel, which calleth herself a prophetess, to teach and to seduce my servants to commit fornication, and to eat things sacrificed unto idols."
Yeah. I was looking for something else. I can't find it right now, but the end of it, what does it say? The last like sentence or half a sentence? What's that last part say?
Um,
What she
which
does,
which
what she
calls herself
does.
a prophetess, to teach and to seduce my servants to commit fornication and to eat things sacrificed unto idols.
Yeah, right. And remember when Elijah, when he killed 450 prophets of Baal. Um, remember those all those people. Jezebel was like their leader,
Hmm.
right? Because after he
Yep.
kills them, Jezebel sends a message and says, "You'll be the same,
Yes,
this day." Right?
exactly.
So,
And that's why he ran. He
so
ran to the cave. He
yeah,
became
because
scared.
of that. So yeah,
Hmm.
so here it's talking about the what this who this woman is, right? So yeah, let's go to First or Second Kings. First Kings. It's probably in First Kings. Uh,
18 track
18, 18.
18.
I don't know. I don't remember.
Uno ocho.
Yeah, for anybody that's listening, yes, we're gonna go over Jezebel in First Kings 18 is what I'm told. Let me see. Mm,
Verse 13,
let me.
the first mention.
First mention what?
And of Jezebel in chapter 18, verse 13.
Um,
Oh,
I
bud,
don't know why
chill.
that don't sound right, but it could be right. Let me see. Would you say it's 18 what?
Verse 13.
Verse 13.
Yeah, it says, "Was it not told, my lord, what I did when Jezebel slew the prophets of the Lord, how I hid 100 men of the Lord's prophets by 50 in a cave, and fed them with bread and water?"
Yeah. Yeah. All right. All right. Give me a second. Give me a second. All right.
Bruh, y'all so quiet. Who's here?
We're all here. We're just waiting.
Oh, oh, Lord, oh, Lord.
Yeah, 16.
We're praying, Flip.
16:31.
Well, not y'all never told me y'all praying.
In silence.
Yeah,
Pray
16.
for
Okay, 16.
deliverance of all those spirits.
Especially the deaf and dumb ones.
Okay, so the first time Jezebel is mentioned is First Kings 16:31, and it says, "And it came to pass, as if it had been a light thing for him to walk in the sins of Jeroboam, the sons of Nebat, that he took to wife Jezebel, the daughter of Ethabal, king of the Zidonians, and went and served Baal and worshipped him." So let's see, the sons of Nebat, so the sins. Jezebel, daughter of. It's funny that Jezebel is the daughter of Ithbal, and the guy's last name is Baal, king of the Zidonians, and they went and worshiped Baal. So that's who they. So somebody look up Jezebel in the Hebrew and see if we can. I don't remember. Uh, what her name is off the top of my head. Um, because I'm trying to find a good starting point. I'm going to finish going over harnessing your emotions, and that shouldn't take me long. But once we get done with that, we'll hop into this. Is anybody near there?
Yeah, I got you. So, Isabel, is the word. It means. Okay, calm down, child. Baal exalts. Baal is husband to or unchaste.
Yeah. All right. So Steph and Beloved. Let me ask both of y'all this question. Steph and Beloved. What is the Hebrew? It's going to be H something. What is the number that y'all are claiming y'all are looking up? Steph and Beloved. I need y'all to type in the letter H and the number that if y'all are using the Strong's concordance, what number are you looking up? Because both of y'all are giving two different answers. And if you don't have the number, tell me you don't have the number, so I'm not sitting here waiting for 10 minutes for you to give me a
The
number.
number I have.
Now let them
Yeah.
give don't have the number. You don't have the number. How did you look up the name Jezebel then, Steph, if you don't have that number? What are you using? What did you use to look that name up? You Googled it. You can't do that.
Oh, Lord.
Beloved, if you don't have the number, beloved, how did you come about to under the name meant?
Hey,
Yeah,
what's the address? Where we at?
guys, Google. Listen. Do not Google what names mean. Okay, y'all need to look in the Blue Letter Bible. Y'all need to look in the Strong's Concordance. All right, because there there's different Jezebel names, and if you're looking at the wrong one, then you could possibly get the wrong meaning. You have the number, CJ. Is that number correct?
Yeah, that's right.
That's okay. So, Steph, the number there should be an H in front of that. It should be H348. H meaning Hebrew. All right. So H348. You're gonna make me look it up now. All right. 348. All right. All right. Okay, so it means chased from. Oh, okay. Hold on. Let's see. All right. So it's
Baal
you
exalts.
got the two. You looked at 6.
Yeah. So it means Baal, the god Baal, Baal, exalts, or Baal is husband. So it's a spiritual marriage to Baal, the enemy, or something like that. Unchaste. If you go to the root word, the first half of that word means not. The second half of that word means exalted. So not exalted.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm trying to find where Steph, yeah, the first thing she said was not exalted. So, yeah, Steph, you're right. Uh, it is not exalted. So, what you did is you rolled the dice and you Googled it, and the one that popped up was the right one, but you cannot use Google um, um,
Every time.
to look up names because it could have gave you a different Jezebel, and it could have said something like, God is favored. You'd end up being a little confused. So what you want to do is you want to get a Hebrew number to that, and then you go look in the Strongs. And James Strong has looked up each individual word in the Bible and pretty much did a very good job at giving a true meaning. And of course, you're going to have people, and I've seen it. They'll say things like, "Well, I honor all the work that Strong's did, but I disagree." And before you know it, they disagree with like half of the words that Strong's did, and it's like, oh man, here we go, bro. Like, see, the thing about Strong's book, there's nothing spiritual about what he wrote. It's literally black letters on white pages, and it's pretty much what it means. Okay, now, so when people are, well, what it actually means and what's really being said, I understand why people do that with the Bible, because there's a lot of spiritual meaning in the Bible, 100%. And when people say not everything is spiritual, say, okay, well, not everything is carnal either in the Bible, and also a lot of things are both. So all right. So I'm sorry. Yeah, Dre, you said not exalted, right? Not
Yeah.
exalted.
Then a wife of Baal or not exalted, yes.
Yeah. A wife of Baal, is that what you said?
Yeah, it also says, yeah, it also talks about being.
Yeah, which is funny, which is so funny because it's funny, man. Like, um, her father has the name Baal um in the name. It's just weird. Just like Jesus telling the scribes and the Pharisees, you are of your father. Satan is her father happens to have the name Baal in it. So,
Married to Christ or married to Baal?
And
yeah, pretty much.
Sheathball means
So
with veil.
her dad's name,
Yeah, with veil.
yeah, with Baal. So again, Baal is a demon. Baal uh, is a false god, is what it is. It's like it's Satan. They worship Satan.
Yeah.
Yeah, Baal is Satan. So
So the Jezebel
basically, if they're not
spirit.
worshiping God, do what?
So the Jezebel spirit
Do
is the
what?
spirit of Satanism.
Yeah, pretty much, man. Um, so CJ, can you start finding out or go find out like where Jezebel's story gets a little like where her actual story like gets thick, like where it's constantly talking about her.
Yeah.
Intense,
And
intense,
obviously, I'm
intense,
gonna
intense. With
intense.
her name, intense with
Well,
her
I
name.
mean, it don't have to be intense, but when it's just like when it starts really talking about her, and I'm not saying like when it just mentions her, like, but I'm talking about when it's. I mean, it could be an 18, it could be a 19. Um,
Hey, Trot.
Yeah.
Hey, Trot.
yeah,
Every time you say "Hey, Try," it
Hey,
sounds like Rocky screaming out, "Adrian!"
bruh. So since we're talking about like Jezebel's spirit or whatever, what do you think about people saying like, oh, if you pray for a person who's going through some stuff, and yeah, they talk about like transferring spirits and all that? Because
like what? Like give me an example of what you're saying.
like for instance, when I used to go to church, man, like people would be like, oh, you got to watch out who you pray for or who prays for you because they might transfer spirits if they lay hands on you. You know?
Oh.
Oh my God, bro! What
Yeah.
kind of
Oh.
church you going to, bro?
Oh.
What kind of church you going to? Oh my
I
Hey,
Lord,
said
have
when
mercy,
I
hey,
bro.
he's not.
used to go to church.
He's
My
not.
church is
Hey,
No,
here
I'm.
now.
hey, Flip. You're not
Yeah,
wrong, bro.
what
I've seen.
church?
I've seen people. I've seen people say that like if you're gonna cast out a demon, quote unquote, and somebody who's not saved,
Exactly.
obviously, if you
Yep.
look at the person in the eye, then the demon will go from eye to eye, and it'll come into you
Oh
because
my
your eyes
Lord.
looked at him.
They try. It's a portal. They're gonna
uh,
transport it to you.
So
yeah.
my question still stands, Flip. What church did you used to go to? What kind of church did you used to go to, brother?
Well, I started going out to a Pentecostal church, to be honest.
That's what they called themselves, Pentecostals. Yeah, they hide themselves in some names. All right, I don't know where they be getting this stuff from, man. Oh, and if you ask them, where are you getting this? Oh, they always have a verse.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Because they got to have a verse, and then they show you the verse, and you're like, oh my Lord, oh, you're just like, oh, okay, okay, don't
Mm-hmm.
argue, bro. Trust me, don't argue, bro. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, okay, that's the verse y'all using for that. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, I got it.
I think it's 19, chapter 19. That's
Chapter
when,
19.
that's when she sends a messenger to Elijah.
Is that the? Excuse me. Is that the first time that like it's like this like constant constant about is it's constantly about her? Is that kind
What
of
about
where it starts?
what about the part
That's
when
where.
when she gets into Jehu? Like that's when it kind of gets thick to me. Her and Jehu going at it or whatever. How she tricks him.
Yeah, but where's that at?
Uh,
I believe that's around 22, bro. Kings 22, around chapter 22. I want to say.
Okay, yeah. Is that when she becomes unalived?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Yes. With
Yeah.
Jehu, yeah.
Hey, somebody
Well,
get into
Jude is saying
somebody.
Kings, 2 Kings 9. Trot. I'm reading the comments. I'm sorry.
Second Kings 9.
Yes, that's what Jude is saying.
Uh, let me see. Let me see. Uh, I think 9. Yeah, I see the name Jehu in there. Um,
Okay.
it's been so long since I went over
Yeah.
Jezebel's crazy stories, man.
Okay. Yeah, I guess it is 9 verse 30 when she dies. There is no first mover. What?
Yeah, just so we can clarify,
Second
uh,
Kings.
CJ, do you have a means of writing something down?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Um. So, uh, when Jezebel cut off the prophets, that's 18:13.
It's Second Kings 9.
No, I'm going over something real quick. Uh,
Right. I mean, when
there's something. There's
When Jezebel dies,
yeah. Let me see.
that's Second Kings
When
9.
she kicked the bucket,
Yeah.
when she kicked the bucket
Yeah.
Yeah, she kicked the bucket. All right.
in Spanish, my brother used to say, Dre, entregó el uniforme.
What?
she, I don't know. How do I say that in Spanish, Dre?
She turned
I
in
mean,
her
in English.
uniform.
She
She
turned in
turned.
her uniform.
Yeah.
So became.
She got the pink slip.
Yeah.
Okay. Write this down, CJ.
Yeah.
You ready?
Yep.
Let me know. Let me know when you're prepared to copy, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So write down. Uh. First Kings 18. Was it told that yeah, 13. First Kings 18:13.
Okay.
And then just write down beside that, put Jezebel slew the prophets of the Lord. Was it not told, my Lord, what I did when Jezebel slew the prophets? Slew the prophets of the Lord, how I hid. Just write that there. And
Okay.
then First Kings 19 told Jehu all that Elijah had. Okay, First Kings 19:1.
All right.
Let me see. Yeah. First Kings 19:1. Okay, it says, and Ahab told Jezebel all that Elijah had done, and withal how he had slain all the prophets with the sword. All right, so where is the Mount Carmel? First Kings, what, 17? It's 18. Yeah. So 18,
21:11.
17.
Oh,
No,
21:11
so
talks about her also.
yeah,
21:11.
so First Kings 18, 17. First Kings 18, 17. Write that down. First Kings
Yep.
18, 17. Just put Elisha kills 450 prophets of Baal, or make an abbreviation
In
of some.
21 in 21:11, it's Jezebel's plot.
Yeah, I'm in 18 right now though,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm trying to just get there slowly. All right, so yeah, so 19:1, and Ahab told Jezebel. All right, so in 19:1. All right, so the 19:2, Jezebel sent a messenger. All right, so write down 1 Kings 19:1 and 2, and just put Jezebel tells Elijah, she's gonna kill him, basically. Are you with me, CJ?
Yep.
All right, so now let's go to 1 Kings 21.
11. Is it
Let's see.
21:11? Yeah, I think it is. Let me see. Let me go
Well,
back to it.
21:5, 21:5, 21:5. 21:5. Let's see, 21:5. But
21:11.
Jezebel, his.
Oh, I'm
Oh
sorry.
my God! I'm saying 5. Why do you keep saying 11?
I
What?
don't know.
What are you talking?
11
What?
is
What are
the
you
plot, but
doing? Ah,
I'm sorry. I'm being silly. I'm going to mute.
no. I was just like, I don't understand. Okay. But Jezebel, his wife, came to him and said unto him, why is thy spirit sad? So his wife. Okay, so we're gonna look at Naboth's. Um, and Naboth that's Naboth's. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, that's Naboth's wife. Hey, and make sure to write down uh, the couple. Just put Naboth and Jezebel, okay? Because that's Jezebel's husband. And can somebody look up Naboth's name?
Yep.
I can look it up if nobody else has it. Anybody else gonna
Yeah,
get
if
it?
you don't mind, and give it to
Yeah, give me a
CJ.
second. Give me a second. I'm doing
Uh,
that
she's
now.
she's gonna look it up. I thought she was married to Ahab for some reason.
It's
I
50
well,
22.
it's
Age 50 22. Fruits. And the boss means fruits.
yeah. I
Fruits.
think that's right because he's
Yep.
making a vineyard.
Yeah, vineyard.
I
It's
think that is
fruits.
right. Okay.
The vineyard of owner of
Because in 5
Jezebel.
is.
Yeah, it's fruits. It comes from 5011. H 5011.
Okay.
Stephanie
Uh,
is Stephanie is reflecting H 5022.
5022.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So here's the question. And listen, here's a question. In 1 Kings 21:5, the name Jezebel is being used there. That specific Jezebel, what is the Strong's number?
H348.
Oh my Lord. So now we got 3. See? You see why we got to go about this slow? All right, Steph. Steph, where did you get Hebrew 5022? Where'd you get that number at?
That's for the Naboth.
It's Hebrews
Oh, for
H
Naboth.
33
Yeah.
6 and H
Okay.
2083 is what they're using for that particular Jezebel. So it would be H 33
Yeah. Hey,
6.
Steph, next time you put like you got Hebrew 5022, put the name that you looked up in front of it so we know what you looked up, please. Since you're over here working. I got you working like a Hebrew slave over here. Oh, sorry. I thought you asked Naboth. No, I was asking for both, but just to be clear, like that way there's no confusion. Just put the name that you looked up next to it. That way, whoever's looking at the chat knows what that belongs to. And you got to understand, like, don't be surprised if because it happens in here sometimes where like the name, for instance, Jezebel, it's talking about the same person, but her name will be have the same meaning everywhere except for like one. One of them will be different. How's that different? And there's always a reason why. So don't always assume that when you look up the name Jezebel one time that every name is the same. That sometimes they change on you, and if you're not paying attention, you'll miss it. Just like it does with other things. But uh, yeah. So put down because we might I don't know, we might go over Naboth's vineyard. So CJ, just put 1 Kings 21, and then put like uh, well, you could just put his vineyard, Naboth's vineyard, beside that because we might have to go over a big port of that. Maybe not, but
Right.
it's not going to hurt.
I'm confused. I thought Jezebel and Ahab were married.
Um, let me see.
She was married to the king, right?
Yeah, Ahab.
She used to
That's why I'm
manipulate him.
confused.
That's why she used to manipulate him. She used to use
Right.
manipulation.
Right. That's why I'm confused. I'm
16.
like, man, am I missing something here? Did I another
I think you're right.
lie? I've
No,
been lying to him again.
Ahab, and it came to
maybe we have been. Who knows? We need to start reading that book.
let me see, and it came to pass. Light thing. Let's see. 38 year as a king of Judah began Ahab, son of Army, to reign over Israel. And Ahab, the son of Army, reigned over Israel and Samaria 20 years. And Ahab, the son of Army, did evil in the sight of the Lord above all before. And it came to pass, as if it had been a light thing for him to walk in the sins of Jeroboam, the sons of Nebat, that he took to wife Jezebel. Okay, so here in 1 Kings 31, it tells us that Ahab took wife Jezebel, daughter of Ithbal. Okay, and right now we are at 1 Kings 21. 21. Let's see. Oh man. Let me see.
What are we looking for?
I'm just reading.
Okay.
Y'all could talk y'all about something, man. I'm just reading real quick. My bad. So anybody that's in here waiting for us to get there, man, just be patient. I'm just trying to read something.
So how about them Cowboys? Stop.
Yes, sir.
How about
Yes,
them?
sir. How about them? We 2-0.
Yeah, y'all always
This
start. Y'all
season,
always
this season's
start
gonna be a
good.
good season.
Hey, y'all always start good, but the Bible says those who finish the race, those who
Oh
finish the race.
Lord. Okay, so you
Well, you
must
know,
be
there
a 49ers fan or something.
Nah, not at all.
Okay,
no, he's a
good. Thank
cowboy
you.
hater. So the thing with the Cowboys is you either love them or you hate them. And you know the Bible says if you hate your brother without a reason, it's a murder. So
Here
Mm-hmm.
we
you might
go
calm
again.
calm down. You can calm down with all that.
What? I love to hate them too. What was the last win in the playoffs they had? What year was that?
What
Really?
does that matter? What does that matter?
Who was your
What does
team,
that matter?
Bill? Trot, baby, I
Bro,
got this. Who
Who's your
who
team?
who do you like?
Who's your
Who was your team?
There goes the Burke lady.
uh-oh.
You know what, brother? How we can go there? Trot's doing the Bible study,
Hey,
but
Listen, I
go ahead.
am a Giants fan. I am
Lord have
also.
mercy.
I also started watching. I actually like this year, believe it or not. The Cleveland
well, y'all
Browns
better
look
beat the
decent this
Cowboys.
year.
Y'all better beat the Cowboys then.
The
Oh,
Cowboys ain't going nowhere, bro. Come
oh
on.
my
No, no, no.
gosh!
Late,
Do
late during the
not, do not
season.
be one of
Hold
those
on a second. Hold on a
bandwagon
second.
fans.
No, I said the Giants better beat the Cowboys. That's what I said. The Giants. Why are you talking about where the Cowboys are going? The Giants better beat the Cowboys. I tell you what, Bill.
I know in
If the
those 27 years, Giants got two
hey, if
rings.
the
I don't see anything on
I
the
don't care
Dallas
if I
side
tell
at
you, I don't,
all.
why are we deflecting? Listen, if the Giants do not beat the Cowboys, Bubba, you're gonna have to put it up for the season, Bubba. You're gonna have to
Hold on,
put it
try
up. We're gonna have to talk trash next season. What?
how are you reading
What?
and talking at the same time?
Man,
Doesn't even
I'm
open
God's
his eyes when
favorite.
he
I'm
talks.
God's favorite.
Hey, I love how you Giants fans and Cowboy fans are arguing against each other, and we all know Eagles are going to win the division anyways.
Oh Lord.
Hey,
Think so.
hey,
Well, they are the team to
hey,
beat.
Ron,
I'm going to
They
give you
do
hey,
look
that. They are
Ron,
sharp
the
though.
team.
They do look sharp.
Ron,
Hey, bro, I'm
Ron, the
just
Eagles
speaking
better beat
truth.
the
You
Cowboys.
guys get mad at the truth all you want, but that's okay. That's on you.
Hey, this season just started, so nobody's speaking no truth right now except 2-0. That's the only
Bro,
truth
I
being
could
spoke.
see. You know that Yoda where your hands out and your eyes are closed. You can see what's in front of you. I'm just telling you, bro.
Well, y'all go ahead. Y'all go ahead with y'all's madness.
Exactly, Trot. Brenda, he's looking it up, hun. Um,
Mike
but
said the Cubs are going to win the Super Bowl.
I saw CJ put the Raiders. Really?
The Raiders.
The Raiders.
Come on,
That's what's
Flip.
up.
Buddy.
That's Flip, not me.
I'm sorry, CJ. My apologies, brother. Flip, really? The Raiders and y'all lost?
Raider.
Oh.
My boys are 0-2. I'm not even gonna say nothing right now.
Okay, Taylor.
I'm gonna just sit here quietly.
Eagles fan. I'm a Viking fan, but I could still call it like I see it.
Hey, Cam Akers is about to run some serious business with y'all. That boy, he's about to go
I don't know,
wild.
man. I'll tell you what. The Rams saw something in him they got. Hey, man, they got a guy with that Kyrie Williams or Kyron Williams, man. That kid's gonna be running all over people. I'm telling you what. Cam
You
Akers
know
is not that great.
Yeah.
who everybody's sleeping on? Everybody's sleeping on Baltimore, bro. Baltimore is going to be a wrecking crew, bro. Don't sleep on Baltimore.
They're rebuilding, like everybody say when their team is not doing good. It's the rebuilding year. Everybody's rebuilding.
I didn't say that. The Vikings, the
I didn't
Vikings are
say that
terrible. They're
either.
never going to win anything. I'm just, I know my team. I'm gonna stick with them. I know that they're never going to win anything, but I still love them. It's all right.
I don't like Danny Two Nichols Jones at all. He drives me insane.
Everyone who's coming into the live, there is a pause. The host is looking up some verses for Jezebel, so please bear with us. We're just having a small conversation. Thank you.
Yeah, hey, Dre, just real quick, the reason why we're confused, and that's my fault. I'm reading too fast. It wasn't saying that that Jezebel was Naboth's wife. So because I'm skimming through it, it's just talking about, and that's my fault for going so fast because I was confused when you said that. I was like, wait a minute, hold on a second. But it's been so long, bro, since I've read Naboth's vineyard. Naboth, um, the king wanted Naboth's vineyard. He wanted it, and they unalived him or I'm sorry, Jezebel unalived him for it, for her husband. That's actually what it was saying. So that's my fault. I was reading it real fast, and I made it sound like that she was married to Naboth, but that's not what it's saying. It was just the way I was reading it. But that's because I'm trying to hurry up. But that's all right. We got it squared away, so we're
we
good.
going through a loop. Yeah, we go through a loop, bro. I was like, hold on, wait a second.
No, no,
Have
me
I
too.
been
When you
lied to
said
my
that,
whole life?
I was like, wait a minute. I was like, hold on a second, because me personally, I don't recall her married to a whole lot of people. But I mean, I could have, I could have slipped on that one. So I was like, let me slow down. Okay, so that was 1 Kings 21, and that's Naboth's vineyard, and that's an awesome. When we go through that one, bro, it's a trip.
But
That
doesn't
is
that
a
would match
trip.
up with the vineyard that Jesus talks about as well? Like that would go hand in hand.
Well, it's just not a coincidence that Naboth's name uh, means fruitful,
Fruitful.
and he planted a vineyard, and we know that men of God are their husbandries, right? Like Noah planted a vineyard. Like they're always planting seed, and we'll go over here in a little bit. Uh, yeah, Second Kings. Yeah, that's when she becomes unalived. CJ, you there?
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
Yep.
Can you write down Second Kings 9:7 uh, through 9:37? I guess. Like just write that down, and then definitely I was talking about. Definitely write down Revelation 2:20, and then just put her name. Just put Jezebel there. Because the truth is,
Yep.
her story's not very long, man. It's really not. All right. So you got all that, bro?
Yep.
All right. So those are the notes that we're gonna use to kind of go over Jezebel's life. And who knows? Maybe we can make up another name. Maybe we can say the spirit of Baal through Jezebel. That person has the spirit of Baal and Jezebel on them.
Mhm.
All right. All right. So real quick, we're going to finish up. I'm going to finish up harnessing your emotions, and there's not much left, so no worries. But we're going to finish it up anyway. All right, so we left off. Let me see. I know we talked about being the head and not the tail. I know that we said that. I know I said when people talk to you, like when people are asking you how you're doing, uh, you know, once you start knowing who you are in your spirit, you will start answering that differently, right? But when people ask you again, if a doctor asks me and I have a broken arm, how are you doing? I'm not going to tell the doctor I'm amazing. Because I understand what he's referring to. He's referring to my broken arm. Okay. Does that mean don't tell him you're doing amazing? No, but you don't want someone that needs to look at your bone. You don't want them to think that they don't need to look at your bone. I mean, so but if anyone else is asking how you are, you tell them you're doing amazing, unless it's someone that is truly trying to something that they already know that there's an issue somewhere. So if someone in your family passed away, and let's just say it's your aunt or uncle, and they're like, "Hey, how are you?" They're obviously talking about your aunt or your uncle, right? So don't get weird and say, "Oh, I'm doing amazing." It's just because they're literally asking about a very, first of all, clearly that's what they're asking you. Okay. And again, that's not the time to say, well, I have an ingrown toenail, and it's they're going to be like, I'm talking about your dad or your mom. Like, so, um, it does matter, but in your everyday life, people like maybe you haven't seen someone in a year, 2 years, 5 years. I saw a guy that I played football with in Walmart. I probably ain't seen, I'm not kidding, maybe 20 years. And if it's 18, whatever, 18 years. It's been a long time since I've seen this person. And he recognized me. I didn't see him. Maybe if I saw him first, I probably would have read. But he saw me first, and he said, "Hey, boy." I heard it real loud. I turned around. I said, "Man, who's that talking to me?" He says it. As soon as he says it, I put two and two together. I mean, it didn't take long. I said, man, what's going on? He's like, "Man, how you doing?" I was like, "Man, I'm doing amazing, man. How are you?" Like, because in reality, that's how I am doing. But if I was at the doctor and the doctor's like, "How are you?" I was like, "Well, doc, hey, we need to talk about this ingrown toenail or whatever the issue is. You need to focus on that at the moment, so you can get whatever the issue is resolved." But when I seen him, I told him, "Man, I'm doing amazing, bro. Like, how are you?" And we had a good talk. It's all good. But that's how you need to be speaking to people, because you never know who you could inspire by just telling the truth. And if you're in your feelings, right? Like if you say to yourself, well, things are bad, but you don't want to tell them that. You don't tell them things are bad. You just say, "Oh, man, just one day at a time." Well, that's not very inspiring. They may have the same attitude. They may say, "Yeah, man, I know, man, one day at a time. One day we just leave this godforsaken earth." And before you know it, they're just sitting there whooping each other's butt with words. Like, I mean, that doesn't get anybody anywhere to act that way. If someone has that attitude, like, "Oh man," kind of like Igor, Winnie the Pooh's donkey. It's funny. That's why the donkey's a male. If it was a female, it'd probably be a very chipper one, according to the Bible. But Igor's, "Hey, Pooh. Oh, just another day," and just, God, shoot me in the face. Like that attitude of that, just, you know, you couldn't do any more horrible if you tried. Like the dude's just always in this very horrible mood all the time. I was on the phone with, yeah, he needs to go work something. But I was on the phone with Big one day, and I was in a gas station, and I get back to my vehicle, and he's laughing. It's like, "What are you laughing about?" He was like, "Bro, just listen to you interact with people," and I just started laughing because I was like, "What do you mean? Like, what do you mean? Like Like this is me. Like I really do say this. Like, cause I walk in there, but to me, I'm just being myself. But he just recognizes it because we come up on the panel. But the lady was, she was like, hey, how are you? And I was like, I'm doing amazing. I was like, how's things with you? She's like, well, I mean, they could be better. I was like, better. I was like, man, things are amazing. I said, if you look at it at the right perspective, she's looking at me like, what? Like she ain't never heard anybody like just talk. I don't know. She looked at me like a cow at a new gate. Like, she probably hangs around about 5 Igors every day. And, you bring somebody in there that, recognizes who they are in the spirit, and you're going to get a complete different attitude, And she was just, I mean, if I would have had her face on the camera, you would have just thought that she was talking to someone like from Mars or something.
On Igor.
Oh, is it not Igor?
No, bro, it's Eeyore.
Oh, Eeyore,
Igor,
whatever his
Igor is
name
from
is.
Frankenstein. Igor
Yeah,
is
Igor's from
master.
Frankenstein,
Oh
bro.
yeah,
Yeah, bro.
my bad, bro. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Igor is master. Yeah, that's Igor. Yeah,
Master, what do I do now?
master. Yeah, such a character, dude. Hey, what's the name of come on, man. What's the Hunchback of Notre Dame? Does he have a name, or they just call him Hunchback? Or
Hunchy.
does anybody know?
Name. He does have a name. I don't remember it though.
Does it sound like that? Is it like Eeyore or Igor? Or?
No, it's different. I want to say search with an H, but
Oh,
don't believe me. No, he
okay.
has a
Well, if
name.
anybody finds it, man, tell me, because I don't know why I'm thinking of that. You know, Quasimodo. That sounds about right. I think that is Quasimodo.
Quasimodo.
Quasimodo. Yeah, bro. Yeah. Such a weird movie. Quasi. Yeah. That's
Quasi, bro.
yeah, they should just call him sloth. Hey, you guys. Okay, so yeah, so I mean, come on, man. Like, we went over spirit, soul, and body. Okay, I'm going over harnessing your emotions, which is you taking control, pulling the reins back on your quote unquote your horse, right? The name of your horse, emotions. You shouldn't be on the horse and holding on for dear life. If you get on a horse and you hold on for dear life, that is a scary ride. And I'm telling you, people do that with their emotions. They just hold on for dear life rather than understanding that they can take control. You can take control, and you can reign, and you can conquer the idea of what emotions are in control of and what they're not in control of. And so when people say they're crying, and people will tell me something, oh, I got to tell you something that happened, and they're telling me, and they're like, and I mean, and I just bust out laughing. Like, I'm like, I don't understand. It's like, why are you crying? Like, I don't get it. And they're like, what? Maybe you didn't hear me. And they explain it again. I'm like, no, I said, now you just made me laugh more, because the truth is, when people say, but it's real to them. Yeah, let's talk about that for a second. It's real to them. This is such a junky way to look at something. It doesn't matter who it's real to. It is either real or it's not real. Stop giving in to this idea. Well, if it feels real to me, then it's real. I mean, God, it's such a junky, man. It's crap, dude. I don't know any other way to. It's not true. If it is not true, stop accepting that it's true just because of how you feel. That's the whole point of harnessing your emotion. You're supposed to recognize when your flesh, right, the part that was given to us by the first Adam, the dead part, right, the part that Paul the Apostle said, there is no good thing. And that flesh is lying to you and you justify to keep it by saying, well, it's real to me. Well, the Bible says you're a fool then. That's what the Bible says. So either you're lying to me or the Bible's lying to me, and I'm just gonna take a stab at it. That the Bible's not lying to me, that Paul was chosen by Christ to write down what he wrote down to the Gentile. And if you didn't know, you are that Gentile that's supposed to read and understand this. Now, you're no longer a Gentile, but you were the Gentiles to be understanding this, right? For the purpose of you having a more pleasant life while you're here. So you can start reaching out of your spirit rather than constantly being told what to do by your flesh. Your flesh, more than likely, has kicked your butt long enough. And to tell you the truth, it's not going to stop until you get tired, literally sick and tired of being sick and tired. When you get sick and tired of the junk, you'll start renewing your mind. But it will behoove you to start renewing your mind now. That way, when the next hard time comes, you can just put your battle gear on and say, let's go. I'm ready. You should stay ready. 100%. And people say, well, the Bible said speak those things that are not as though they were. Like if you're just going to speak all your problems away, I don't know who lied to you. I'm sitting there telling you right now, the Bible makes it very clear that in this fallen world, heart is just a matter of time. That's it. You can go ahead and live in la la land all you want and think, no, God's going to protect me. And I'm telling you, that attitude, you're actually worshiping your belly. You're feeling, see, the thing is you don't want to feel bad anymore, right? You don't want to feel, I don't want to feel scared. I don't want to feel bad. So you make the mistake and you allow your belly God to convince you to pray for it. Isn't that funny? That people are so in their feelings sometimes. They go to God and they're like, God, please, I just want to feel better. And you don't understand that your belly God, which is a physical God, right? Your belly, your feelings, emotions, it's so scared and timid that it asks for you to pray to your spiritual God for it. It's hilarious. I mean, I'll tell you, Satan is a genius, dude. Obviously God made him, but he is a genius. He literally can make you think that it's you praying to God. If you don't understand what I'm saying, just stick around. You'll get it. Trust me. Sooner or later, you'll get what I'm saying. If you're scratching your head right now, just stick around because I always talk about this on these skills. What?
Can you imagine God in heaven saying, "Are you serious? Are you really serious?"
And I'm gonna tell you, when we start going over Jezebel, okay, we'll go over Elisha unaliving the 450 prophets, and we're not going to go over the whole story, but I will bring it up again, I'm sure, where Elijah says, "Hey guys, check it out," right? Because these guys worship Baal, and he's like, "Hey guys, check it out," and basically he says, "Hey, y'all make a means for God to come, and then I'll make a means. Like y'all make an altar, I'll make an altar, okay? But y'all go first. If you don't understand what's happening there, man, if you do not understand what is happening, you don't understand what's happening here. Nothing has changed. There are people that still worship Baal. And if you don't know what that is, that's your belly, that's your feelings, that's your emotions, that's what they worship. Look at the characteristic of these people. They're over here screaming for God to come, and they're like, God, come on. Rah. And Elijah's like, hey, maybe y'all need to scream louder. Maybe he's sleeping. Notice that what he's telling them to do is to get in their emotions more. All you have to do is just pay attention, man. He's not just mocking that their God is fake. he's mocking their flesh. That's what he's mocking. And it says, he's like, hey, maybe you should scream louder, right? Maybe you should do more cartwheels. Hey, maybe y'all should get in a group chant and do a lot of dancing. He's mocking their flesh. Maybe you should do more. And you know what? That makes sense. They're like, oh my God. So they start doing more. And before you know it, they start cutting themselves. And I mean, they're all in their belly, man. And I'm telling you, a lot. I don't know what the number is, dude, but I'm going to say like 70% of people that call themselves Christian, that's what they do. They cry and they're and all this, and they think that that's praising God. Just because your feelings are sad does not mean you're praising God. Let me tell you what praising God is. Praising God is that you are who the Bible says you are. That's praising God. If you didn't know that, now you know. And if you disagree with that, that means you didn't know and you want to keep what you had. You want to stay in your feelings. You want to cry every time that you remember some old thing in the past, and you just want to sulk. You just want to cry and just have a pity party. And you don't understand you're worshiping your belly. The belly that Paul says for their belly is their God. Talking about the person, they're all in their belly. They go from watching the soap operas, when the soap operas are done, to get on TikTok and argue about scripture. All in your belly. Now, I say this all the time too. We're all in the none of us excluded from any of that. But that's why we're supposed to speak to one another. We can remind each other, not to point the finger and say, you are the only one in your belly. No. Everyone still, every day, at any given time, any one of us can get in our belly and sometimes not even recognize it. And, you're not always in your belly just because you're screaming and yelling. I'm not saying that. It's the attitude change, right? Your attitude. You went from having your mind focused on Christ, right? Jesus's belly. Jesus said, believers in me, out of their belly will flow rivers of living water, right? Out of their belly. Talking about your spiritual belly, but your physical belly, there's no rivers of living water there, man. It's just straight desolate. Like your physical belly cannot bring somebody to life. It only brings death because it focuses on the carnality, on the flesh. It focuses only on things in this world. And when you take that belly and you go praise God, man, and you go praise God, I'm telling you, you're not praising God. That's what I'm telling you. Your physical belly, your flesh, where there is no good thing, it doesn't know how to praise God. It only knows how to praise itself. When you praise God, it is when you are believing who you are through him, what the Bible says that we are. When there's a hard time in your life and your belly is telling you to fall apart and just lose it, and you hold on to God's word and you say, no, the Bible says to rejoice always. That's praising God. Falling apart and saying, oh, God, like Moses did before he parted the Red Sea. He goes to God. He's like, they're coming. Look. And he literally tells Moses, why criest thou to me? Why are you crying to me, Moses? See, nobody ever condemns that. Nobody ever points that out. Moses was trying to react in his flesh, and God was trying to remind Moses, I've already given you what you need. The rod, remember? Take the rod and put it over the water. I can just see Moses, oh yeah, my bad, I forgot. Run over there, and all of a sudden, things are happening. But in his flesh, he was crying out to God. That's what you have to remember. A lot of the crying and whining and complaining, it's your flesh. It's not your soul. Your soul is not doing this. Your spirit definitely isn't. Your spirit is never in fear or worry. Your spirit's not doing that. It's your soul that comes into agreement with the flesh. That's where your irrational emotions are. And I tell you, if you can get this is huge. I'm not even kidding. I'm really not. If you can really get this, what I'm telling you, it will revolutionize the way you see a lot of things in this world. It will revolutionize the way you talk to God, the way you see how he sees you. It would literally change a lot of things. But, people too often, they just like it. They like their belly. They like their feelings. And that's the problem. You pray that you want change, but you're not willing to do something to get it. And you have to be willing. So, let's see. In the Old Testament, and I don't recall where it's at, but it's I believe it is Elisha, and he has a younger person with him, and he's scared, and a prayer was made that said, "Hey, Lord, open his eyes, so he can see." And it says that the boy's eyes were open, and he can see a lot of people like on the mountains, and he saw that there was actually more of them than there were the people that were against them. And that's exactly how it has to be. When our spiritual eyes are opened, the issue, the circumstance is not bigger than God. And if you have to, write it on a poster board, like in your house or something, if you have to do that so you can remind yourself, man, nothing is bigger than God. It's just not. And you live your life out this way. And I'm saying, reminding yourself, this is putting on the armor of God. If you have to picture yourself putting these things on, like, okay, I'm going to put the helmet of salvation, I'm going to put this on, and you start, just putting it on. If you have to do that to get your carnal mind to see that, hey, dude, like, I'm telling you what I have on. If you have to do that just to like have to start controlling your emotions, you're going to have to do what you have to do, man. If you have to go to YouTube and, listen to harnessing emotions, if you have to do that, the Descale at Descaled Live, if you have to go there and listen to this over and over and over, then that's probably what you need to do. Because I tell you what, the other stuff you've been doing ain't working, right? You're staying bitter, staying upset, because the focus is on emotions. Focus is how I feel. And when I feel a certain way, that's how I respond, and that's how I react based on how I feel. And your feelings been kicking your butt for way too long, but that's how we need to be. Like, the young man's eyes that were open. Once our eyes are open, we should be in our belly less and less, right? And like I said, I know I already talked about, faking it to make it. I'm not talking about that. There's no such thing. You can't fake it. You either know who you are in Christ or you don't. Psalms 32, 9 talks about it tells us not to be like a horse or a mule that has no understanding. Horses are smart animals, very smart animals. I mean, dogs are too, but the verse in particular is talking about a horse or a mule. You could teach them to do a lot of things. They know exactly, when it's feeding time. If you've ever had a horse, they hear you coming out of the house. I'm not kidding, man. I'm not kidding. They know the time of day, and they know, like, your door makes a certain sound. Now, if you're a house is further away from where your horse is, or maybe your horses are, and you got to drive out there, Bubba, it can hear that. It can hear that truck starting up. They'll be at that gate waiting, you know. But, you know, but it tells us not to be like a horse or a mule, and it tells us why, because they have no understanding. And the understanding that it's talking about right there, it's talking about understanding in this world. You know, horses don't understand you're paying rent. Horses don't understand really what you are, how you think. They don't think the way we think. They're not sitting in their mind contemplating. They only have instinct, hungry. You know, sex is, you know, for breeding. You know, I need to have sex. You know, I need to mount this horse because I got to put a baby in it. Like, they're not really thinking that far through. They just have a physical instinct to do something. They do it, and they have more babies, right? But that's all they are. They have no understanding. So when people say, well, I don't know, I think they do. And yeah, well, you're not reading the Bible then. So here we go again. You know, don't let the Bible get in your way. My bad. I'm sorry. It makes it very clear that they don't have understanding. They have instinct. Okay. Does that mean that they don't recognize their owner, and maybe they don't like have what we would call a feeling of care or emotion or love or something like that? But again, they have instinct. You know, when they have a baby, they know by instinct that that's their baby, and they're going to protect their baby 100%. But, you know, it's us humans that are always trying to figure out how to argue with the Bible. The Bible says they don't have understanding. They don't have understanding. And really, to be honest with you, you should know better. They don't. They have instinct. That's what they have.
I had a brother tell me that animals had a spirit, a soul, and a body, like humans.
Yeah. Yeah. There's people that believe that. And, you know, a lot, not all the people, but a lot of them that believe that, they don't like humans. They don't like, you know, and I always say, if you don't like humans, then you don't know God. I make that very clear. If you do not like humans, you do not know God, because God loves humans. And so you prefer an animal who has no understanding over a human who does. You know, that can say a lot about a person. You know, it could say many things. It could say that, you know, they're tired of getting hurt because they put themselves around the wrong people, or they burnt all their bridges every time they're around people. You're the person that nobody wants to be around, right? And so they take their longing for companionship, and they transmit that to animals, you know, and some of them get carried away and commit bestiality with their animals because nobody wants to ever be around. I'm telling you, I've seen it. I've seen a person tell me why they're not around people ever. And I'm telling you right now, Satan is the only entity that will make you believe that you're not supposed to be around other humans. God is not teaching you that. Satan is. You know, whoever that person is, that person has been in their belly way too long. That's where they live. They live in their belly, where they just spend all their money on animals. That's all they do. Now, don't misunderstand what I'm saying. Everybody has a choice. And I'm telling you, God honors your choice. If that's what you want to do, that's your choice. That's your choice. You can do that. But to say that God is sovereign over that, that God is the one leading these people to love animals more than humans, nothing could be further from the truth. That is 110% not coming from God. God tells us to make disciples. He didn't say to make disciples by not being around people. Okay? There's nothing wrong with loving animals. I have some. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm saying when you choose them over humans, somewhere along the way you've picked up this thinking error this irrational belief about humans, and it's not true. Maybe the circumstances that you found yourself in may be true, but that is not 100% true. That's not how we're supposed to live. But just like I was talking about how smart horses are, I mean, it's true. You could teach animals, horses, cats, dogs, you can teach them through repetition. They don't understand really what you're teaching them, but through repetition, they can learn something, right? But they just can't figure out all things because they don't have understanding. They don't. When Balaam's donkey spoke, it was the spirit that spoke with understanding, not the donkey. You pay real close attention, you'll hear like an Islamic believer or somebody, they'll say, well, in y'all's Bible, donkeys speak. It could be an atheist, or it can be an Islamic believer, and they'll say, they don't understand. They're not truly reading. They're not trying to understand what it says. The Bible makes it very clear that the Spirit opened her mouth, talking about the donkey's mouth. And the Bible tells us that a characteristic of the Spirit is the spirit of understanding, right? The spirit of wisdom, the spirit of might. So the spirit of understanding opened the mouth of the donkey, and the donkey spoke. But it's not like all donkeys are walking around with understanding. No, the verse makes it very clear in Psalms 32:9, don't be like a horse or a mule, which have no understanding. And somebody will say, well, it doesn't say donkey there. Okay, it doesn't say donkey there because in the Bible, we do see a donkey come to an understanding. But it's not like the donkey, like let's say after the Spirit spoke through the donkey, that donkey didn't go through the rest of its life with its eyes open like humans, thinking like humans. Okay? It was for that moment that was used. But that donkey didn't have understanding. But it is a shadow of something, and it's trying to point to a truth. Proverbs 6:32 says, let's see. Oh man, I don't have it, but I know it. Okay, I know it's talking about, a person that commits adultery with a woman lacketh understanding. Why would it say that? Why would it say that a person that commits adultery with and it's talking about a man, because I know it says with a woman lacketh understanding. Why would that man be called? Why would it be said of him that he lacks understanding? The reason is because the man is just thinking with instinct like an animal at that point, right? A horse and a mule has no understanding. So a man that commits adultery with the woman lacks understanding. Do you get it? Basically, the man's not thinking soberly. So instead of having wisdom, which understanding in this verse in Proverbs 6:32, that understanding obviously is talking about how we understand things in this world, and it could be referring to spiritual understanding, okay? But basically, if a person is not spiritually understanding things, they're just an animal, right? So a man that commits adultery with a woman lacketh understanding, just like the horse and mule don't have understanding. You're acting carnal. You're just all flesh, right? So, you're not thinking. Basically, you're not thinking. I mean, it's so many ways to say it. You're just like an animal, a horse, a mule. It's nothing but hormones at that point. It's just your emotions driving you. It's absolutely illogical, right? You're nothing but emotions, nothing but feelings, and you don't know how to harness them. People say the phrase, keep your penis in your pants. Well, if a person doesn't have understanding, they don't know how to do that. That's the problem, right? You don't have to allow your emotions to dominate you. You can choose how you want to feel, the way you utilize those feelings. Um, you know, and like I said, man, if you can even get this a little bit, what we've been talking about literally for like a week. We started with spirit, soul, and body, went into harnessing your emotions. If you can just get this a little bit, man, you'd it would really take you like to the next level up. I use that because I know there's a lot of people that either play video games or they have, and you just kind of level up, from level 25 to 30. You go up a few points, a few notches. But I guess we can just kind of end it there with harnessing your emotions. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel at Descaled Live, you should. We upload these videos on there. You can go back and I will say this: the whole thing is on there, so all the shenanigans obviously are going to come with it. So I know there's a lot of people that get up there and they try to fast forward it and try to find a very specific topic. And all the topics are not even in the title. So, I apologize for that, but again, the focus really is the live itself. We just do the YouTube channel in case somebody wants to go back and listen to them, they can. So we'll get into Jezebel. CJ, you there?
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to kind of go off your notes. That's why I was telling you to write some of that stuff down. What's the first thing you got there?
First Kings 18:13. Jezebel slew the prophets of the Lord.
First Kings, what'd you say, 18?
18:13.
18:13. I'm just going to read it. What was that? 18:13.
YOLO!
Hold on. YOLO's in here. What's up?
What's going on?
What's going on, man? You been hiding.
I've been busy, bro. Busy.
Busy. Hey, what time is it over there right now, man? Where you at?
Perth, Western Australia. It's 10:36 p.m.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It's complete opposite. Yeah. So it's 10 o'clock at night. It's pretty much 10 o'clock in the morning where I'm at.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it, man.
Yeah. Yeah, so 1 Kings 18:13. Let's see. Was it not told, my Lord, that I did when Jezebel slew the prophets of the Lord, and how I hid 100 men, Lord prophets. Okay, so so we're getting into Jezebel. There's just been some questions that people were asking about. Excuse me. They were asking about the Jezebel spirit. So we're just going to kind of skim through it. I will try to get as much of it done as we can. We have plenty of time, but man, I really do want to go over Naboth's vineyard. It's kind of like it's got some good shadows in there, man. It's been a minute since I went through it, but it'll come back to me. What's the next one you got there, CJ?
1 Kings 19:1 through 2.
19:1 and 2. Okay,
Yep.
so this is right after Elijah slew 450 prophets. And so after he does this, it says Ahab told Jezebel all that Elijah, and Ahab is the husband of Jezebel. So her husband told her, he's a king, by the way. So he told Jezebel all that Elijah had done, and withal how he had slain all the prophets with the sword. Then Jezebel said unto Elijah, saying, so let the gods do to me and more also, if I make not thy life as the life of the one who them of them by tomorrow at this time. And when he saw that, he arose and went for his in Sheba, which belongeth to Judah, and left his servant there. But he himself went a day journey into the wilderness and came and sat down under a juniper tree. And he requested for himself that he might die. Look how he's all in his belly right here, bro. And he said, it is enough. Now, O Lord, take away my life, for I am not better than my fathers. And as he lay and slept under the juniper tree, behold, then an angel touched him and said unto him, arise and eat. And he looked, and behold, there was a cake baked on the coals, and a cruse of water at his head. And he did eat and drink and laid him down again. And the angel of the Lord came again the second time and touched him and said, arise and eat, because the journey is too great for thee. And he rose and did eat, and he went into in the strength of that meat 40 days and 40 nights unto Horeb, the mount of God. But he flew away from Jezebel. So Jezebel is married to Ahab, a king, and Baal is their god. And Elijah just killed 450 of their prophets. So we start seeing Jezebel kind of, her part coming alive here. What's the next verse you got, CJ?
Yeah, so Elijah kills 450. That's 18:17. The next one is 21:5.
1 Kings 21:5.
Yeah.
All right. So this is Naboth. Yeah. So I'm gonna read. Should I read the whole thing? I'll read what's relevant, and we'll go over it a little bit. So before I read it, Naboth, this man whose name means, I believe it's fruitful, or fruitful.
Yeah, fruits.
He fruits.
Yeah.
Okay, and he plants a vineyard, and basically Naboth wants it. Okay, not Naboth. I'm sorry, Ahab. King Ahab wants this vineyard, and so I'm gonna read some of that now. So this is 1 Kings 21, and it came to pass after these things that Naboth the Jezreelite had a vineyard which was in Jezreel, hard by the place of Ahab king of Samaria. And Ahab spake with Naboth, saying, give me thy vineyard, that I may have it for a garden of herbs, because it is near unto my house, and I will give thee for it a better vineyard than it, or if it seem good, I will give thee the worth of it in money. And Naboth said to Ahab, the Lord forbid it me, that I should give the inheritance of my fathers unto thee. So, as based on the shadow here, notice it's talking about the inheritance. So throughout the Bible, God tells us what he hates. Now, if you're reading the Bible with your carnal eyes, then you think God is hating a skin color, right? He hates people because of their skin color. And so, the Bible tells us that God loved Jacob, but he hated Esau. And so when people read that, they're like, oh my God, God hates? When you're not familiar with the Bible, you don't know what God hates. You just think God is hating a person, and they say, that's what it says. It says right there. But you're not understanding the story. You're not understanding what it is that God is hating. God is never pleased when someone throws away their inheritance. All you have to do is go read the Bible for yourself. Go read the Bible for yourself and see this disapproval on how people throw their inheritance away. You'll see it. That's what he's hating. The fact that Esau sold his inheritance to his younger brother for a pot of beans is foolish. And that is what God hates, right? To receive your inheritance, to take it, right? To take it. That's what God loves. It's all about the inheritance. So we see the story of Cain and Abel. Did not one do good and another do bad? So then again, there's these riddles, the way that God speaks to us, and you can tell who cannot tell the answer to the riddle because their answers don't make sense according to the Bible. And when I say it doesn't make sense, I'm saying when a person is familiar with the Bible, they know that that answer doesn't make sense. And so that's why the arguing will never stop, because these people don't believe that you have to be familiar with the Bible. That all they believe is they just read that one sentence and that's what it says. They don't understand the way that Jesus authored the Bible. They don't. It's so clear, because it's so clear. So Cain, we know, killed his brother Abel. And because he was trying to give God something out of his own works, Abel was giving something that didn't require any works of his own. And that's what inheritance is about. Inheritance is not about you earning something. It's not about that. It's about you receiving something. That's why it's called an inheritance. Okay? So Abel has a characteristic of receiving an inheritance. Cain does not. Cain's attitude isn't about receiving an inheritance. And everyone should know what an inheritance is. We'll make it real simple. If your mother and father had a house sitting on 2 acres and they pass away, and they make it very clear that it's yours when they pass away, that's an inheritance, period. There was nothing that you did to earn it. There's nothing you did. And so Abel's attitude is of that he is doing nothing to earn something. He's not doing anything. The 2 men that had dreams, and they explained them to Joseph while Joseph was in prison. One of them, it's the same story of Cain and Abel. You don't hear it described very often because people don't understand what the dreams are about. They don't get it. But it's the same thing. It's the same of Cain and Abel, right? Cain was working with his hands to give a gift. The baker was working with his hands to prepare baked meats to Pharaoh. The other person, the cupbearer, and the 2 people that were
Try.
in prison with, yeah, what's up?
Let me ask you a question. Would that kind of principle still applies to Adam as well, right? Like he was given an inheritance, like he was given the earth and he gave it away. Like it was his to give away.
Yeah, yeah, no, 100%. That's the, yeah, that's and there's, man, dude, there's some other things going on with the story of Adam, and I don't talk about them a whole lot because a lot of these other riddles have to be seen first to even understand. It's just, the whole Adam thing is, so there's a lot of depth in there, and but yeah, no, 100%. Everything was given to him, and he threw his inheritance away. It literally is throughout the entire Bible, man. 100%. So the fact that people are not understanding. So I know it sounds silly that we read here in 1 Kings 21, and let's see. We didn't make it but to verse 3, and I stopped there. Because if you do not understand the importance of inheritance in the Bible, you're just reading these stories for no reason. All these stories, they all mesh together, every one of them. And so it's not a coincidence again that this Naboth is holding on to this vineyard for a reason. Okay. What happens at the end is, it is what it is, but let me see, give me a second real quick.
It sounds like Jesus on the mountain getting tempted by the devil. That's what that verse sounds like you just read.
Yeah. Okay. So let me ask you this. Why was Jesus getting tempted by the devil? For what reason?
Because he had to.
To fulfill prophecy.
To give
Noel.
up his
No.
inheritance. To give up his
For the
inheritance.
Yes.
inheritance.
To give
He
up his
wanted,
inheritance, guys.
Hmm.
exactly. He
To give
wanted
up
him
his
to,
inheritance.
he wanted what belonged to God himself. He's always wanted
Yeah.
what belongs to God.
Right, because
Make,
Jesus has an inheritance, and Satan wants to take it, just like he did Adam. It's all
Yeah.
about inheritance.
Hmm.
Fam love. He was led by the Spirit. Yeah. Yes, he was led by the Spirit. I'm talking about. I'm talking about the action.
That's
Talking about
like,
the actions of Satan. Listen, hold on. I'm not saying. I'm not really referring to why was Jesus tempted. I'm saying why was Satan tempting him? Why? There's two sides to this. Of course, the Spirit led him. The reason why the Spirit led him is because Jesus is the secret captain. He is the champion. He's the one that's going to defeat Satan. But I'm talking about in Satan's head, what is Satan trying to do? He's trying to take his inheritance. That is the whole point of the it was God's plan, was my point. Yeah, but I'm talking about Satan. I'm not talking about God's side. I'm talking about Satan's side. Satan is not forced to tempt Jesus. He's choosing to. He has a choice, right? So the question would be, why did Satan do what he did to Adam and Eve? To take their inheritance. That's why Satan did that. So he's trying to do the same thing with Jesus. So 100%. Yeah, right. Satan's still trying to steal from our Jesus. Well, yes, yeah, 100%, man. He's still trying to this day. He's still trying to, he's trying to steal your inheritance. Remember, the Bible tells us that we're co-heirs, right? The inheritance that Jesus received, we received with him. But every day, that's what Satan's trying to do. He's trying to steal your inheritance, and he uses your flesh, your body to do that. That's why for the past couple of weeks we're going over spirit, soul, and body. We're going over harnessing your emotions, because your emotions, your belly, if not careful, can be your God, and that your belly is the flesh, which leads to the carnal mind. That is the flesh, the carnal mind, which is the seed of Satan. There's two seeds, the seed of Christ and the seed of Satan. And the seed of Satan is your brain. That's the seed of Satan. That's why Jesus was prophesied to crush the head of Satan. I asked, we were talking about, in the book of Revelation, it talks about a head being crushed, and it talks about a reviving. And I asked, how did that healing happen? And I'm not going to give the answer, but I'm telling you, when you know the answer to that, there's a lot of other things that make sense in the book of Revelation. But let me see. That's where the battlefield is, the mind. Exactly. So our mind is every day, your soul is choosing what it's going to believe every day. It's either going to believe the soul, the spirit, or it's going to believe your body. And every day is another day to choose. So let me move on a little bit. Let's see, 9:53. I'll go down a little bit further for a few minutes. We get off at 10, so we just got a few minutes left. But let me just read a couple of more. CJ, can you make a note where we are when we get off, please? Or not? Good talk. I'll figure it out. Okay, so let's see. I think we're at 3. I should give the inheritance to my fathers and to thee. Okay, yeah, so for an Ahab came into his house heavy and displeased because of the word which Naboth the Jezreelite had spoken to him, for he had said, I will not give thee the inheritance of my fathers. And he laid him down upon his bed and turned away his face and would eat no bread. But Jezebel, his wife, talking about Ahab, Ahab's wife.
Hey, tried. It's not a coincidence. He ate no bread.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No, it's not. It's not. There's so much that goes on in this, and it talks about he turns his face away. I mean, it's just a whole lot of things. Now also what we have to remember is, Ahab and Jezebel. I will just keep it simple. These some bad cats right here, dude. Well, anyway, so 5. But Jezebel's wife came to him and said unto him, why is thy spirit so sad? It's kind of like, why have your countenance fallen, right? That thou eatest no bread. And he said unto her, because I spake unto Naboth the Jezreelite, and he said unto me, and said unto him, give me thy vineyard for money, or else, if it please thee, I will give thee another vineyard for it. And he answered, I will not give thee my vineyard. And Jezebel his wife said unto him, dost thou now govern the kingdom of Israel? Arise and eat bread, and let thy heart be merry. I will give thee the vineyard of Naboth the Jezreelite. She said, I will do this. So let me point some things out here. According to the story, a man is having a conversation with a woman who is claiming to have authority. Y'all see that?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So stick with me. Stick with me. What was the reason that God said that he was going to give man, or he said man should not live alone? So he gives man a woman, right? That's what we see in the black letters on the white page, right?
Yes, to help me.
Yep.
A helpmeet, right? Okay, so let me ask you this. Who is the helpmeet in the Bible?
Spirit.
The spirit.
The Spirit. Right. So let me ask you this. Does a woman have a helpmeet?
Yes.
Who's the woman's helpmeet?
The spirit.
It would have to be the
Spirit. The
man.
spirit.
Spirit also,
But
yeah.
The Spirit, right?
but the spirit, yes.
The
Yeah.
spirit.
But I have a question about that. Try.
Uh-huh. Go ahead.
Okay. So I understand that it's the spirit, but man always says man
What do you mean? Man always
versus the
says man.
spirit. A man says that, Adam was created first and women, we came from him. So we are needed, excuse me, we are dependent on a man and not the spirit.
I thought no, we're dependent on the
No,
spirit.
No. No. I understand that, sister. I understand that.
the man
I'm
is the head of the woman.
Yes.
Right. Okay. How is the man the head of the woman? How?
I believe that the man, it's God, then it comes to the man, and then the women, then the children.
How?
And I
Okay.
believe that the man of the household, the man
How?
of the household, is the leader, the guide, even spiritually,
Okay.
even for the woman, is how I see it.
Well, let's not talk
It's
about how
through the
we see it.
spirit. It's through the spirit. It's
So
through the
let's not talk
spirit.
about how we see it, okay? Let's not talk about how we see it. Let's not do a watered down Bible study. Let's talk about how the Bible sees it, not how we see it. So,
The man's supposed to seek God, and God guides and leads him through the Spirit.
okay, so let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Um, can a foolish man, a man that doesn't submit himself to God, can he lead a woman?
Oh, he can lead her, but he's
No,
going to lead her the wrong way. He's not going to lead
No.
her the right way.
The
no. The
answer is
answer is
no.
no.
It's
The answer
no,
is no. Okay.
definitely.
So, when a man is a fool, listen to what I'm saying to you. When a man is a fool, and you say to yourself, well, the man is the head, you become a fool with that man.
Ooh, that's right.
That's true.
So
That's when
there,
you
so
realize that
there,
it's unequally yoked, right, brother?
so there are women, okay, who are trying to do the right thing by quote unquote being obedient to a man who is not obedient to God. And you become a fool with him. Now, it doesn't mean that you're not a woman of virtue. It doesn't mean that. No. You're doing the right thing. You're doing the right thing. But if the man is not submitting himself to God, then you have to ask yourself, what are you submitting to then? If this man's not submitting to God, right?
Yeah.
So it's not saying that you're not submitting to God by being a good woman. What I'm saying is you have to be able to recognize that the reason the order is there is for a purpose. If the woman is trying to do her part and submit to the man, but the man's not submitting to God, you have to be honest with yourself that there's a break in order somewhere.
You got a
You just have
question
to
down
be
below, Crop.
honest.
That was for
Rita
Question
Miss
down
Mark.
below.
Rita Escobar.
I have a
Rita
question. Try
Escobar.
that type of. Can
Okay,
I ask a question?
hold on, beloved. Yeah, hold on a second. I'm trying to read a comment that Dre just pointed out. So let me just read that real quick. Rita, yeah, I see it right here. I am one of these women who is unequally yoked, so I have to obey the spirit before I obey my husband. Yeah, yeah. So if you're, if anyone, if you're, let me see. Yeah, if you're married to a man who doesn't
I pulled
submit
her up,
himself
Crop.
to
She's on the
God,
panel. Just so you
oh,
know. She's on the panel. I just pulled.
oh, okay. Hey, Rita, what's going on?
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Sure
Yes.
can.
Okay. Yeah, I was listening to what you were saying about the spirit and the man being unequally or the man and the woman being unequally yoked. And I just wanted to say I get it because I am actually one of those women that is unequally yoked. I got saved after I was married um, to my unsaved husband, who now I am praying for. So anytime we
Yeah.
have a conflict, it's very difficult. And I totally understand where you're coming from, where you have a woman, because as a Christian woman, I understand that if my husband tells me to do something that is not goes against what the Bible tells me I should be doing, then I have to sit him down and be like, honey, I respect you. You're my husband. But the Bible is telling me that I can't do that. So, with all due respect, I'm going to have to decline to do that because I have to obey the Spirit. Um, but I try my best to respect him. And I always do things as lovingly as I can because we want to show Christ to them. We don't
Mhm.
want to go back and be a wife that's Bible thumping them over the head and telling them, you're going to hell because you're living this way.
Mhm.
Um, and But at the same time, I have to put boundaries in my relationship, which is very sad and it's very difficult. But I know that if I show him the love of Christ, I have a chance to win him. And for a long time, I struggled with it because I was like, well, now that I'm saved, it's hard. There's just different things that are really hard for me because, like, when I go to church, for example, it's hard for a woman that's saved to go to church without her husband that's not saved, and to watch all these women and men that are married that are equally yoked. And I'm sitting in the church, and I love what Trot said about getting out of your flesh, because a lot of those times I go to church and I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, I just wish my husband, this is so not fair. And then the Holy Spirit reminds me, but yes, you still serve a purpose, even though you're here without him. Your focus should not be that you're here without him, because you're here with me, and I'm going to provide everything you need.
But
So I
understand
Yeah.
just,
though, sister, but it's not everyone who goes to church is equally yoked. They are presenting you their representative. You are not going home with them. So you don't truly know. So just be
correct.
mindful of that.
That's a good point. Thank you.
Yeah, we come alone and we leave alone. I would that was my question I was going to ask. She answered it because I'm kind of in the same situation at my home too. So
Yeah.
she
All
It's
right.
answered
Well,
it
look.
difficult.
perfectly.
Yeah. Let me say this real quick. Okay, guys, it's already 10 o'clock. Okay, we usually get off at 10. So don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with the topic we're having. But we try very hard to try to stay at the 10 o'clock time, and we're actually about 5 minutes past. So this is what I'll say. Rita, how long you been coming to descaled?
For almost a week, I am brand new, and I
Oh,
love it.
okay. All right. Well, we're all glad to have you 100%. So this is what I want you to do. Um, I want you to remember like where you are, like where you are in the story that you're talking about, because we'll talk about it a little bit more tomorrow. So don't forget where you are. But I want to remind everybody, remember, we're talking about Jezebel. We're just going to go over Jezebel's story, and we're going to kind of break down what's taking place in this woman's life. So where we're at right now, CJ, can you make a note of this real quick?
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you there?
Yes.
Okay. So where we're at right now is we are at let's see, 7 First Kings 21:7, Mary Jezebel. So she wrote. Okay. So 7, I'm just going to repeat 7. It says, and Jezebel, his wife, said unto him, dost thou now govern the kingdom of Israel? Arise and eat bread, and let thy heart be merry. I will give thee the vineyard of Naboth the Jezreelite. So the what I'm pointing out is he's married to a woman who's claiming to have authority. She's saying, I'm going to give it to you. And so write down 1 Kings 21:7. That's where we'll start out tomorrow. Man, can I have I can't, man, I cannot do a 2 a day. No, I can't, dude. I can't. Okay, so tomorrow morning we're going to start at 1 Kings 21:7. Okay, and I'm pointing out this woman for a reason. There's so many ways, avenues to look at this, but there's a huge one that I don't want you to miss. And when you see Adam given a helpmeet, guys, this was a shadow of something to come. Do you understand? It's not just about a man getting a woman as a helpmeet. That's not the main focus here. It's about mankind receiving a helpmeet, which is the Spirit, the Comforter. Don't confuse the two. So, is it true that it's God, man, woman? Yes. You know why that's true? Because it's it's every human that receives a helpmeet. And if you don't know what the helpmeet is, you should, because it's the Spirit that helps us. That's what helps us, the Spirit. Okay, so it doesn't mean that we're not going to talk about the physical part of that, but we're going to talk about the spiritual too. And for too long, the spiritual part is left out. And when the only part you're focused on is the physical, then you're missing out on the awesome foundational truth, which is the Word of God. See, the black letters on the white page tell us that it's God, man, and woman, and we have to understand that 100%. But the Word tells us that that mankind received a comforter. That's why the Bible says, "I will pour out my Spirit upon all flesh," and it occurred. Right now, we can receive the Spirit as a free gift because we are co-heirs with Christ. That's our inheritance. It's free. So 1 Kings 21:7 is where we're going to pick up tomorrow morning. Rita, thank you for coming up. We always like to have a newbie. We're going to call you a newbie, like a video game term. But no, we always like to
Baby
have
trotter.
new people come up. A baby trotter. Oh Lord, don't start that again. Golly, we're gonna have people yelling at y'all. So if anybody got anything to say on the panel before we hop off, man, go ahead. Speak now or forever hold your peace.
Stay
God
blessed
bless
today,
everybody.
y'all. See you tomorrow.
Anybody else?
Renew, new, your, mine.
Oh my
Thank
Lord.
you, Trot. Thank you, Trot, for addressing this. I truly do appreciate it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. God bless, guys. We'll see y'all in the morning.
God bless.
God bless. Right about there.
There.
Put your hand
Oh,
between
by the
your
way,
legs and kiss your
by
butt
by
goodbye.
by hey, by the way, guys, we got our butts whooped yesterday. We lost all 4 games, Bubba.
Hmm.
Hey,
We got our
did you not have the lowest score though,
what?
Trot?
Okay, so I'll tell you why we lost. So my wife, she's at a police conference. So obviously she couldn't be there. She's our big hitter. And my other buddy, he just got the old snippety snip. So
Yep, I know what you mean.
yeah, so actually, you know what? I'm wanting to say he's starting at, well, okay, so Mackenzie's got a better overall average than he does, but I think he's going to catch her, man, because he's been bowling like, I'm not kidding, 20 to, let's see, last time he bowled, 70, so that's 34. Last time he bowled like 50 pins higher like every game. So eventually I think he's going to end up catching Mackenzie, end up having the highest average. He got a new ball. Man, that ball is no joke. Anyway, all that to the side. So both of them wasn't there. So the two people that were there, were me and Miss Marie. Miss Marie, she's been bowling with my wife for like 10 years or longer. And me and her, like we go hand to hand, bro. Like if I miss my average by 3 or 4 pins, she just happened to do 3 or 4 pins better. So both of us keep our average. We help our average stay.
Nice.
So we're kind of the weakest links there on the team. And so it was the weakest links bowling, and the 2 top dogs weren't there. And so that's for sure 100% why we lost all 4. But anyhow,
But
all right,
y'all had
guys.
fun, so.
Oh, absolutely. That's why I go. But I just can't wait to be better so I can rub it in people's faces. Anyway, all right. God bless.
God
All right. God
bless.
bless.
God
See you on
bless.
the
See you
morning.
tomorrow.
All right.